I wanted to show another really cool example of topics. We've all upgraded packages, right? And when you upgrade a package, usually there's lots of stuff that come with it, especially if it's a breaking change. This pull request upgrades Axiom. Axiom is a REST API for Rust. It's a very common package in Rust API. So let's look at the first topic, Axiom upgrade. We upgraded Axiom from version 0.75 to 0.81. I'm on this topic, so all these files 9 out of the 23 should be related to Axiom. So I'm not opening the log file, but in general it's good practice to review it at least once. I see Axiom was bumped, Axiom was bumped. Cool. What else happened here? Lots of bumping. I see. So something has changed in the implementation of Axiom, and now API routes are with curly braces instead of columns. Cool. I can go through it, make sure I've seen everything. Everything is related to Axiom. I see we have another router here. Perfect. All right. Let's mark it as red. Now let's go to the dependency updates topic. You'll see that it's more files, but it's not everything. So some of the files that we've seen before, we won't see again. The cargo log is, for example, a file that we've basically seen, but you can see what we've already seen, what we haven't. The important part about this is that it's everything that's not related to Axiom. So it might include something around Axiom, but it's not the main heart of Axiom. So let's scroll down and see what we're seeing. We're seeing lots of numbers bumping around. All of them are cargo toml files. I can just skim through it, feel pretty confident. Some of the files I've reviewed, some haven't because there is no change related to Axiom in them, but it's all pretty straightforward. Yeah, looks good. All right, saved me some time, focused me on what really changed around Axiom and what didn't, and helped me review only what I really need to review with the right amount of effort. So far for the live demos, I did want to show a demo of something that we've built to showcase all of the things that you'll see as you use Baz and open a pull request and improve it and refine it. Okay. So this is an example of a REST API example called Pet Store. It's a famous one. You can find like 1,000 GitHub repositories of it. What I did here is we implemented a Python implementation of it using Fast API, and then I opened a pull request which is supposedly adding a filter on the Get Pets API. Okay. So if I look at the topics, there's the species filter that I added. And then there's the add price to pet, which is something that I probably added but forgot to note, or maybe it's less important and it's on the way. Maybe it's a small fix. I don't care. The AI and the context that we give it helps Baz separate these two into two different topics. So let's look at the species filter, for example. Modify the Get Pets API to include a species filter. You'll notice that it changes two different APIs. We have the /pets API, and we also have a breaking change on the /pets/name API. Now, the breaking change is because we changed the route. We added the /species, it's the required parameter. That's a breaking change. It changed the route, and all clients calling the old route would basically get 404s. Now, the really cool thing about this is that you'll notice we know to append the /pets prefix to this route. It does not exist in the code, it does not even exist in the file. You'll have to trust me on this one. The magic around here is the AST. The AST knows to identify the imports, we resolve them to the relevant files, and that helps us give the AI the entire context that it needs, right? There's a file that defines the prefix and then sends basically all requests with this prefix to this controller, and the controller adds the /name/species. Cool. Obviously, besides being on the topic, we have it in line. We'll see it in a bit. Other things that we'd like to highlight is the CI failures. So this is a MyPy, which is a typing for Python. If you're writing Python for production, highly recommend. And of course, the committers and the change files. Let's scroll down and see what it looks like in line with the code. You'll see the breaking change is also an annotation and a comment. So you really can't miss it. But also the error is right here. It's on the code, you can't miss it. You can actually fix it without going to different tab windows, etc.